Hello, good morning, the internet. Excuse my voice, I'm still recovering from last week's reboot develop and HaruCon, so my voice might be a bit down. But finally I've got this deep womanly voice. I guess maybe I'm also just now coming in my, how do you say, that voice break thing that happens in puberty. Anyways, it's been a while. Didn't stream last week because, as I said, we were in Dubrovnik visiting Reboot Develop. Maybe I'll post some insights of this actually at some point. Oh, not insights, like some photos. Hello, hello. Good morning, Allegra. Good to see you. Good to read you. How are you doing? I'm streaming today from the very messy university office that we have. That means probably less audio quality but more stable internet. I guess it's a trade-off. Excited for the stream, that's good. I'm a bit rusty, it's been 2 weeks since I last streamed. Nah, it's gonna be fine. We actually, I found something new to implement today. Let's change to the screen already. Oh no, that's just an empty JetBrains. I've already finished the boring stuff. That is reviewing pull requests on GitHub, so we don't have to do this anymore. The one thing I didn't do yet is see why my test is failing, but that's not so important right now. Oh, sorry that we didn't stream last week. I thought about streaming directly from Reboot a little bit, but then I didn't have internet, or like stable internet, so no stream unfortunately last week. But now we're back and nothing can stop us now. But yeah, I'm also, you get used to it quite fast. Like streaming once a week, it's like a nice little habit to catch up on progress from everyone, share some insights, talk a bunch about what we are doing on our end. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. I'm always looking forward to the streams. They're like quite chill, and I'm always very productive in the streams. So actually what I'm doing now, I can show you. We're implementing today a falling animation. Looks like this. Not very spectacular, but gets the job done. Doing game design for your wizard game. Yeah, actually, let's do daily stand-up. What is everyone doing today? I'll start. My plan for today is implement the falling animation to properly trigger when you go off a ledge and to properly lock off everything else so you can't do like any weird movements in there or abilities. And after that, implement a respawn. So if you fall down the ledge without a floor underneath, you respawn and take some damage. That's my goal for today's stream. And after the stream, I have to do some organizational, some planning for the demo. So yeah, we already added the falling animation to the animator. I can stop using it. Here it is. We have some transitions with the falling condition. And I guess the only thing left, we still need to figure out a way to check if the player is touching the floor or not. And the question here is if it's better to do, like we could do a raycast every, we could do a raycast on every frame, but that seems kinda expensive. Oh, nice. I've still not managed to reach the dungeon in your demo. Maybe you could include some kind of cheat code to teleport me to the dungeon. Gamedev meetup. Wait, is it today? It's next week, right? The Gamedev meetup. Yeah, because next week I will probably be there. Actually don't have any classes next week. Just a non-mandatory, 2 non-mandatory guest lectures. So yeah, next week I'm planning to attend the Gamedev meetup. Are you going to be there? So, scripts. Probably in environment, wherever it is. I think we do have player script somewhere in there. Then we'll call it player falling. Very creative. More healing items, more spells. Yeah, that sounds very intriguing. I always appreciate more healing items. So that's definitely gonna help me. I guess that's also kind of the thing with what we call like developer bias. Because it's also happening to us. We tend, like, okay, a game designer tends to make the game way harder, or like harder than it should be, because he's really used to playing it and he's really good at it. So we get into some kind of developer bias where we always upping the difficulty, because we always get used to it. And there was like a talk about this from, I think actually from Flambia. I'm not sure if it was Rami Ismail or somewhere else, but what was it? It was about the game Nuclear Throne, where they had like, I think it was also with early access, and they had like a really dedicated player base who gave really good, or like who were very eager to give feedback. But those players, they joined in early access, and then they always included their feedback and made the game harder and harder and harder, because those players were like always playing it. And then at some point they noticed that they didn't get a lot more new players, or like new players would drop off in the first like 20 to 30 minutes and then stop playing. Then they realized, oh yeah, they were updating the game mostly for the existing player base, making it harder for new players to come into the game. So developer bias, in that case, I guess experienced player bias is definitely a thing and we need to be aware of. I guess that's a strength of our team, is that half of the team isn't really gaming a lot. So we always have people on the team who aren't experienced gamers, and we always have like a low bar here, including me. I mean, I got pretty good at Panta Rhei, but outside of Panta Rhei, I'm not playing a lot, and I don't have the best reflexes. So we always have testers in-house, so to say, that can make sure that the game is also accessible for players who are new to it. So I guess the takeaway is hire non-gamers as QA as well. Now, how are we doing this? I think I just the most simple thing and add a collider or a trigger underneath the player. I guess that's what we're gonna do. We will just add doesn't need a mesh, just a sphere collider that can be okay. Does anyone know how to get rid of icons? I mean, we didn't get rid of them, but at least they're smaller. I guess let's keep it like that. And make it a trigger. Make it a safe trigger. Oh wait, this is working with actors, is it? I'm thinking maybe we should contain this in like one thing. Let's not make this too complicated. This needs a collider. Then we will also need to put this on a layer. And now my question is, what layer? Okay, our layers got a bit wide at some point. But I need something that is... I think the level floor should be its own thing. I'm pretty sure. Level floor. Here, found it. And we kind of want something that is intersecting with the floor, but not a lot of other things. But I don't really want to do a new layer. Another level floor doesn't really need to collide with other level floor, I think. Yeah, but I think I just put it on push box player anyways. Because why not? It's already on push box player. Huh? Why can I not add the component? Player falling. Player falling doesn't exist. Why not? Oh, do I have compile errors? I don't. What is happening? Oh, that's also a weird view. Ah, okay, now it's working again. Okay, I feel like something is a bit weird right now. Okay. I think something might be weird here. Yeah, we're restarting Unity. Also, by the way, that might be interesting for some of you if you're doing humanoid animations, like 3D humanoid animations. I can wholeheartedly recommend Mixamo, especially for prototyping or something. That's like the one really nice thing that Adobe did. They have like this huge library of humanoid animations, and all of them are free to use. It's very simple. You just search for it. You can adapt it a little bit, and then not sure if it's still running. You can adapt it a little bit and then download it. So I do have a bunch of those in the project as well. community is back. Now let's see if there's player falling. Okay, now we're talking. What we do need is a private read-only integer card is falling animation parameter string to hash is falling. Then I guess we will also do private bool is on floor. And technically we just want to do on trigger and it says true. On trigger exit it says false. Then we'll do no, not the normal update. Update animator. We do need a reference to the animator. Private animator, player animator. Then on validate, so in the editor we are gonna fetch the animator. Have I seen your cosplay progress? I think so, on Instagram, right? The new staff update. So it's coming along really, really nice. Excited to see it at the next an upcoming convention. I still need to get my cat paws at some point, so I can do my low budget cat boy costume. No, really, I'm really excited to see when it's finished and its full glory. And the whole 3D printed stuff is actually it all looks so high quality, so professional. Maybe one day when I have a steady source of income, I will also think about going into cosplay. Is the esports festival the first one you'll go with the cosplay? I'll definitely be at the esports festival, actually with multiple projects there. So I will be around either in the indie area at the booth of the university with Panta Rhei, or with the board games at Spielfest. I think that's in the same, but in the same building, but different floor. Yeah, I'd probably also be at probably. No, we are also at some anime convention. So we were at HaruCon last week, and maybe a few others. Kinda depends on when. After July, we are definitely going to everything that has an indie area, because after July, or starting in July, we should have a public demo, a new one. So then we're kinda trying to get into every convention that's possible. Okay, yeah, Hanamicon. I think Hanamicon doesn't have an indie area. I heard talks about this. Comics definitely has one that's currently... I think there's currently the application for that. I think we won't be able to join comics. So yeah, esports festival it is. Oh, by the way, it's unrelated to Panta Rhei, but if you're interested in that, or you know someone who might be, if there will definitely be cosplayers at the esports festival, because they also have a cosplay. How do you say? Not tournament, but like on stage. So I mean, it's mostly more focused on gaming related cosplays and less anime related cosplays, but last time there definitely were a lot of cosplayers going around as well. It's not solely focused on esports, it's kind of misleading name, but the esports festival is more like a general gaming festival, right? We have indie area, we have like Smash tournaments and also board games and the tabletop area, so there's a lot of different things going on, not just esports. And also cosplay. Yeah. At least last time they had a cosplay event on stage as well. So yeah, you won't be alone, pretty sure. But on a different note, if you're interested in that, or if you know someone, I'm also involved with a second project. I don't really have footage of it yet, but we'll be exhibiting at Esports Festival as well with Blockship Royale. But we are still searching for someone who can do like a title image and a logo for it. Unfortunately, the project doesn't have any budget, but we will be exhibiting at Esports Festival and Level Up probably, and going for the PGA Talent Award. So if that's something you would be interested in, or maybe you know someone who has time and wants to do like a small 2D gig for a student project, hit me up. It's a sci-fi battle royale game where you build your ship out of blocks. Wait, I do have a few gifts actually. You kind of roam around space, build your ship, and fight each other. And like we'll be going there with like a 4-player multiplayer setup. Like the target is full on battle royale. Yeah. Short advertisement in between. Now back to Panta Rhei. What we also need is the ability controller. You'll have to do until 18th of March. Well, that's still a long time until 18th of March. Yeah, the only problem with this gig is because we want to apply for the talent award with that, and the deadline for that is in 2 weeks, I think. So we are already a little short on time. That's like the biggest issue with it. I don't know the exact deadlines. No, it's 10th of May, the talent award deadline. Sure. I actually already sent you. I didn't send you the concept yet, but if you're interested, I'll send you what we have right now. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. We kinda just need something that we can attach to the application and maybe print a poster of. We can put your how do you say exposure? That's the only thing we can do. Can print. Maybe we'll print some posters of it for the conventions, and then we can put those up with a link to your Insta as well. I'll just send you. I'll get in touch after the stream with what we have, and I'm sure we'll figure something out. But yeah, thanks for that. Alright, update. So in the animator update we need to set the... First of all, we're checking if it's null. Otherwise we can set the bool is falling and not is on floor. Then update abilities. Kinda the same thing. If this is null, we return. Yeah. Input is locked if we are not on the floor. Alright. let's see if this does anything. Oh no. Misplaced the player. Oh, actually, will you be with your game part of the game First Sprengergasse? Because that's also not too far away, is it? Okay, it's kinda working, but we're not falling. The collider is too small. Oh, and I think that thing is also not... I mean, it's kinda working. You might have some edge cases. Yeah, when you're not... okay. Let's try it with a save trigger. Not sure if this is even working. Yeah, we kinda need to check if it's... This thing is level geometry. This thing is level floor. Maybe I'll try. Just want to try something. Of adding a tag. So if it doesn't have the tag, we just bail out. Oh, oh, let's see. Okay, well, this isn't exactly working as intended. Bit of them. Okay, let's see. What does this save trigger actually do? It has a trigger enter. And it's adding colliders to the current collisions. And on triggers day, on the fixed update is checking our current collisions. Okay, so this should also work without actors, I think. Guess the thing we do have to adapt is the size of it. Kinda want it to be smaller than, yeah. be like that. And I think we actually do need a new layer. We're slowly running out of layers here. Gotta clean those up at some point as well. Because the only thing this should collide with is level floor. Oh, and actually only level floor. Okay, where's the level floor layer? Hitbox, pushbox, yeah, level floor. Here we go. Let's try this again. There seems to be an issue with the player reversion. Timeline reversion. Oh, okay, I can't get out of here. Now let's try this again. Yeah, that's kind of what we didn't want to happen. think the collider needs to be a bit bigger. So the character capsule has a radius of 0.38. So we also want to have like a little smaller, 0.35 maybe. Okay, now the problem is we can't revert while falling down. But we do want to be able to revert while falling down. What? Yeah. So, what are the things we actually want to lock? Lock while falling. Movement for sure. Splinter, maybe? Attacks for sure. Things we definitely don't want to lock. Reversion. So if it's just those two. Because it is our input locked. Gets used a lot. I think let's just lock movement actually, and the attacks. A public bull. Our basic. Probably need to do this as well, but not sure yet. Oh, you know what? Instead of doing this, we'll just lock them. Like if is on floor. We'll unlock move, attack 1 and attack 2. And otherwise we lock all of them. No, let's just not overthink this. And it should be fine, I guess, hopefully, maybe. Okay, maybe we can already prepare for the next thing. Because we need to check if there's still a floor underneath, and if not, we need to cache respawn. Then the question is if we want to do the respawn logic directly in here as well, or if we move this to a different component. Normally I would say move it to a different component. But yeah, let's see. Oh, and I think we can remove the layer again, because ain't using it. It works without the layer as well. Okay, let's try again. converting mid to fall works. No, we aren't blocking the dodge. So what happens if we... Yeah, that's the problem with the lift, it's too fast. And it doesn't have a floor tag, I guess. That's the problem, really. Okay, how are we disabling the... Oh, I guess we can just disable dodge input. And we should be good to go. Now what we... Playtest wizard game? Yes, of course. I guess it's actually also a good time. So we're currently finishing up on the first task, implementing the dodge. Yeah, not the dodge, implementing the fall. And I would like apply the changes, push a commit, and then we can do a quick intermission, playtesting intermission, before moving on to the respawn. We can also do it on stream if you want to. I think it's a good way to break it up in between feature work. 'Cause I'm not too stressed with the things I'm working on right now. So that's fine. If you have a build ready in the next like 10 minutes, we can definitely take a look at it. If you want to, that is. Okay, first things first, I need to apply all the, I wanted to move the player falling. Script somewhere else. So we can find it again. And we will move it to guess just to the root. So then we need to apply the collider to the player base and the player falling also to the base. And Unity crashed. Awesome. Unity is struggling with our prefab structure. It might got a bit convoluted. No, I'm not sending a bug report. It's not like you're actually gonna fix it, Unity. Okay, let's see if that worked. Oops. Then let's try again, applying that to here. That's fine. We didn't really change anything else. Then we can do a commit. Can remove this here again. Added a tag, updated collisions, updated the animator. Here updated the scenes as well. Prefab. So yeah, Allegra, if you have something to test now, would be a good time after I finish with the commit. Otherwise I'll start with the next feature. Yeah, we updated the prefabs. This one, it doesn't matter. Oof. Yeah, those are always evil. They're bugs that only appear when building or trying to build. Normally, with us, that happens when someone forgot to remove some editor include, like a using editor or something. That's like the common mistake we have. Alright, feature player, add falling animation. Oh, and if we're already at it, can do a quick recording of it as well. Then save the recording. Perfect, perfect. And I think I encountered a bug. Oh, another bug. Yay. Okay, it's only with the platform. What layer is this on? Level geometry and attack floor. This thing is level floor. And the player collider is on push box. And push box should collide with both. With geometry. And with the floor. Actually we should, yeah, makes sense. So the thing is, we can just drop it on trigger enter exit. We only want to do this if there are no collisions. Maybe we can just check for no collisions. Wish I had put a struct here as the context instead of just the collider, then this would be easier. But maybe we can still public struct save. trigger message context collider other public and also public and collisions count. Then we'll just do a field. Serious field, private bool, send full context. Defaulting to false. And then here we do let's just do an if not send full context, do this, else context is new. Is new context. Other is other. Count is count. I think we don't really need it like that. Then here instead of other, we are sending the context. And then here I can listen to with context. Oops. Wait. Ah, that's the context. Sure. Send it to me after the stream. That's also fine. I'm sure when I will get to it this week, but when I get to it, I'll check it out and send you some notes. No problem. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun in your audio class. And I hope I have a productive stream. I mean, it is already productive. It's always beautiful seeing the code when it works. A piece of art. No, thank you for stopping by. See you in the next one. Have a nice day. Have fun in audio. Meow. Alright. With that being said, okay, now we need to compare. Now we have two possibilities. I think we need to check it afterwards. Actually, we only need to check it on the exit. Like if I think we don't even need to compare the tag anymore. Just need to check if... Well, let's keep the tag here just to be safe. Oh no, let's not keep it there. If context.collision count bigger than 0, we return. We want to send the full context. We want to make sure that the push box isn't colliding with itself. And then let's test it. Nope. Yep, not working. Let's see, on trigger exit. Oh, because we're removing it after broadcasting. Guess we should broadcast after removing the things. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe not. Only one way to find out. No. Fingers crossed, maybe this works. Nope. Then let's, I guess, and there's no way around it. Need to debug. The expected behavior is that the breakpoint triggers when we run off the platform, and well, expected behavior would be that current collision is 0, which apparently it's not. So now I'm interested to see what it actually is. So it's 1. We're coming from here. And we're coming from here. And current collision is perception trigger pursue. Okay. Perception trigger pursue. But that's under enemy. It's on trigger detection. And it's a trigger. Can trigger collide with each other? Okay, let's make this a little bit hacky and do bool of like a private bool of ignore triggers, defaulting to false. But if ignore triggers and other dot is trigger, then we return. Alright, next try. Hey, it's working. It's also working on the platform. I think we're good now. Alright. Then apply this. Vex player falling anim. Oh, actually, we forgot to move to a branch. So I'm gonna stash 4 files. Then we need to reword. Always forget how to get reset. What? Get reset 1 soft. Yeah. And then I can so let's move to branch. And then we can apply all our changes. I think we should be good again. Feature player, add falling animation. Then we can push it. Nice and easy. Alrighty. Oh, whoops. No, we don't want to do a build. Next up, the more complicated thing. It's the respawn. Let's go to I guess let's go to Feast Garden. Or let's go to the entry location for testing this. And now I do know that we have a trigger. It's called enemy slug. That's a health bar canvas. That's so big. Why? Okay. What I'm currently searching for is, I know that enemies have a logic of, you know, dying when they fall. When they fall down. But I don't know. Oh no. I closed the inspector. But I don't really know how that happens. And you know, and even if it's still there, Um, hmm. So maybe it's not happening anymore. So that could be. Maybe on the enemy leech did this? That's weird. Because I definitely know that we had this in there. Like a trigger under the locations, and if enemies fell into those, then they, you know, got destroyed. Man. I am tempted to check out the previous commit just to see. What's changed? Okay, let's see. We do have a few tags. This might take a while. I think Unity might be crashing right now. We're going back to a commit from September 23. So this might take a while to open. Okay, that didn't open. I'm not sure this is actually worth it. Because we can implement a new system. Oh no, my layout is off. Now I do need the scene switcher again. Then let's just do this in the entry location. Why not? And then we are just adding I guess a plane. How are we calling it? Doesn't need a mesh. Actually, let's just do a box collider. Just have it be normally we want it to be like -20 maybe. Let's do -20. This is a trigger and it should be a save. And we'll put it on trigger detection. Now we could go two ways about this. Either we could have the trigger push the messages or put it on the actors themselves. I think it makes more sense to have it here on the kill zone. It just pushes a message to the actors and then the actors themselves can like decide what they want to do with it. So we have put this in environment somewhere, maybe. Alright, let's do this in level logic. Or on logic. Location kill trigger. Hello, Banland. Hello, hello. What's going on here? Definitely no Unity crimes being committed here. I'm not sure what you're talking about. All just nice and clean Unity code. No game dev crimes. No, hello. Welcome to our Panta Rhei Coworking stream. It's a thing we do like every week, normally Tuesday 9 to 12, where mostly me, but sometimes also other people are, or actually other people. I think by now it's only been me. We are working on our adventure roguelite game with time abilities, Panta Rhei, and just streaming a little bit of co-working. And right now I'm implementing a new small feature, like a falling animation. And we're now in step 2 of our master plan. We already have a falling animation, and now we want to do a respawn. So when the player falls off a ledge and there's no ground underneath, eventually they should not die, but respawn on top and lose a bit of health. That's kind of what we're going for now. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and if you've got any questions whatsoever regarding Panta Rhei, Unity, game development, or life in general, ask away. I mean, with general life questions, I might not be able to answer them, but all the game dev related ones, I might have a clue. So, but right now it's, so we do have this kill trigger, we do have a location kill trigger, we can put a on trigger enter, and I think we can just use the normal trigger, we don't have to use our save trigger, so, but we'll just try it. So I don't even think we need to check if it's an actor, we just broadcast the kill message. And I'm pretty sure, honestly, that we already have probably already have some kind of component that does exactly that, on trigger enter, broadcasting a message. Banland asking, so you've been designing this game in Unity and planning on using either Unity or Godot for my bachelor's thesis project. Which one would you recommend for someone barely starting out? Also, what language is this? Don't think I've worked with this yet. That's a tough question. I think Godot and Unity are both fine for starting out. I mean, any engine really is. It kind of depends on how familiar you are with like coding concepts, or like what language you're coming from. Like if you're already really proficient in C++, then it would also make sense to start with Unreal Engine, because you're using C++ there. And most engines work similar. So if you won't know one engine, you kind of know all of them. I mean, it takes a bit of getting used to, but most engines are kind of similar. The thing you want to look out for, because I've been recommending Unity normally for starting out, because it has a lot of resources, it has a lot of documentation, it has a lot of tutorials online. So there's a smooth getting into it path for Unity, and Unreal Engine might be a bit more convoluted, so you do have to dig into the code for like the specific questions, and might be a bit overkill for what you want to go for. I personally haven't worked with Godot yet, but I've only heard good things about it so far, I think. And if you're doing Godot, there's one thing I can actually recommend. There once was a YouTube channel called Brackies, and Brackies was known for
Godot.
doing
Godot.
for doing the best beginner or intermediate Unity tutorial. So I'm still recommending, if you want to get into Unity, to go with the Brackies introduction videos. Even though they are quite outdated, most of the basic principles still apply. But Brackies went away and now Brackies is back. And Brackies has switched from Unity to Godot. And he just yesterday posted a master tutorial how to make a video game Godot beginner tutorial, which I'm planning to watch and get my first steps into Godot. I think this might be, I haven't watched it yet, but knowing Brackies, this is probably a very comprehensive overview of everything you need to know to get started in Godot. So knowing that Brackies is back with Godot content, I feel like it's safe to say that I'm going to push people, like new people, students, or people just coming from school. I will probably push them more towards Godot for a beginner game dev, for the beginner game dev journey. Yes, no, I was kind of shook when I saw Brackies again in my timeline on my subscriptions. I was like, what? I know this face. Hello, Ronja. Good to see you. And concerning the second question about what language this is, so Unity is working with C#. So basically, it's just C# in there. Very similar to... I'm not sure what other languages, but it's in this C++, C# kind of family. And Unity is doing everything with this, with a few extra steps. So you do have the mono behavior and a few base classes that Unity is already giving you, and some event functions that you can work off with. But yeah, it's just C# in basically. Godot, I think, has its own language. Godot is like a mix between its own language and... Okay, I can't remember what the second one was. And maybe on a different note, it's not free, I think, but how I started my game dev journey was with Game Maker Studio. And I think the good thing about Game Maker, it's not free, but it's a one-time purchase of $100, and I think that's fair. You buy it once and you have it forever, and you're still getting all the updates, I think, until they release Game Maker Studio free at some point. And this is a really nice and smooth, because I am planning to get back into Game Maker for my own personal side projects at some point. It's working with its own scripting language, Game Maker language, but for purely 2D games, I think Game Maker is a good choice, especially if you're working alone, as a solo developer at first, because you kind of have everything you need for making pixel art or 2D games inside the Game Maker engine. So you can do the sprites in there, you can do the animations in there, you can do VFX in there. I think you can also do audio directly in there. So it's this nice package of one software that solves it all, depending on how complex you want to get. But also Game Maker Studio has some pretty good games to show off, for example Katana Zero, that came out of it. So if you're willing to invest $100, Game Maker Studio is also a good starting point. Well, hi, Vanya. I'm doing fine. I'm still recovering from an intense week at Reboot and Harucon in Klagenfurt last week, so you might notice my my voice is a bit rough. But other than that, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be streaming again. I kinda missed it, but wasn't really possible from Dubrovnik. I barely had internet at all. How are you doing? What are you people up to today? You're not sure if you're built for making your own game. Everyone's built for making their own game. Nobody's stopping you. It's just a matter of starting small and just doing it. You don't actually need a lot to start making games. I've also taught. I can show you on my personal edge. I've taught workshops at, like, what's it called in German? I guess middle school. I'm not in German, English. I guess middle school. There were like, the people there were like 12 years old or something, and with the right tutorials, with the right starting packages, everyone can start making games and creating stuff. So we did this thing. At Netzwerkstatt, Penny Pixel Adventure, where I taught a little game dev workshop in Unity at that time. And basically what we did was we took one of the sample projects of Unity, like this platformer sample project, which already has a lot of code and a lot of logic in there of moving a character and jumping and all that logic, and just kinda expanded on that and added a few simple other things to create your own levels. So if you're unsure where to start but you want to, then I would recommend taking one of the, like, either one way, that's how I did it, was searching for a game maker or Unity or whatever engine you're in, a Godot beginner tutorial. And ideally what I would recommend choosing is, like with Brackeys, I did I think this how to make a video game playlist, which you can actually do next to the tutorial, which actually moves you through all the steps of creating a small project like Pong or one of the basic, what's that, normally everyone starts with asteroids or Pong. So you can move along with the tutorial, build your own thing, and at the end of the tutorial you have a small little project of asteroid or Pong, or in this case some kind of line jumper, and then you can keep on going and expand it with your own ideas. And so that's one way to do it. Search for like a concrete tutorial that equips you with a sample project, a small one that you can expand on your own will. Or the other way could also be, especially if you're already proficient with like programming or some basics, to just take a sample project, like a thing that's already implemented, and Unity and Godot, all the engines have sample projects, and then just add stuff to it and tweak it and adapt it to your own needs, so you can slowly. It's always a bit scary to start from a completely blank slate, so I would recommend taking a tutorial or some sample projects to fill this gap at the beginning. And yeah, everything else will come to you eventually. You're kind of learning new stuff as you go, as you need them. You come to, I think game dev is a very natural way of learning things. Like, it's about, you encounter some kind of obstacle, or like you have this vision in mind of what you want to achieve, and you encounter an obstacle, and then you start learning, okay, what do I need to know to overcome this obstacle, which is the most natural way of learning, like in life. Like, we want to do something, we can't do it right now, so we have to ask for help or read up on it so we can solve it. And there's no test and there's no exam at the end, it's just you wanting to overcome some kind of obstacle. Yeah, doing a whole game from scratch on your own is scary, and I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend going full-time solo indie developer right from the get-go. But yeah, you need stability and you need safety for being a creator, for being able to do creative stuff. Doesn't come from a place of stress normally. So if you have a job or if something that pays the bill, that's a good first step. So you have actually the grounds for it. And then if you're really passionate about making games and you can manage to carve out like an hour every day or like half a day on the weekends to like focus on this and just work on your side project on the end without being stressed about hitting deadlines or raising money, to just learn the hoops on the side. I guess the important thing is to, first of all, to have the safety net or like a baseline that you're sure you can pay your bills. And then as a second step, having the commitment, being able to, like in your own time, whatever works for you, to carve out some time that you can focus on creating your own game. And then you'll see where it takes you. It's eventually, because every new project you do and every new tutorial you do, it's something will stick with you, and you learn something new with it that will make you a more versatile game developer. I don't want to say a better game developer, because it's just you have more tools at your disposal to enact on your vision. Hi Anya, you're at Ostsee. Where's Ostsee? That's Germany, is it? I'm not good at geography. Ostsee is... Oh, that's Ostsee? North Sea? Ostsee is Baltic Sea? But that's quite a ways away from Vienna. I see. Well, that's quite a journey then. 12 hours by train, okay. And then it's the German trains as well. It's like an odyssey. Working on your bachelor thesis. What's your bachelor thesis about? I'm sure I already asked that at some point, but don't remind me. And starting your new job. May I ask what kind of job that is? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'd be interested. On the 13th, so still 2 weeks to go. Yeah, I think it's good to have a bit of a break. 2 weeks at home. And also thinking about working on your... Wait, I remembered... I think it's good for like bachelor thesis or this kind of work to change the location drastically. Get into a new mindset for doing this kind of work. Which also reminds me that I need to work on my master thesis at some point. Eventually. I swear I'll do it. How you need to change UI, UX to optimize video games for... Oh yeah, I remember this. I think we talked about that. About your interviews that you still needed to do. Did you get all your interviews in yet? Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I don't even know how to start with my thesis yet. So I do have a topic. Mine is about AI, because I'm still in a more technical study program as well. So I'm kind of trying to combine large language models as an interface for project documentation, but I still have no idea how to actually test this thing. What kind of experiments I can do with that. Yes, bracelets. How many do you have now? Like roughly. Over 200. Pooh. That's quite a lot. Job interviews. Okay. Yeah, I think with Ronja it was about interviews for the bachelor thesis. What kind of job are you looking for, Banland? A part-time student job. Yeah, that's. I mean, there are always places who are searching, but might not be a fitting match for a part-time student. I know that Flower Boutique Blumen BNB is like always looking for people. So if you're into nature and flowers, that might be something to try, but might be a long way from what you're actually doing. It might also be a nice, counterpart to the study, working with flowers. I actually thought about applying at Blumen BNB as a side thing to not be in front of the PC all day, but didn't happen. Yeah, IT I think is hard. Well, so like IT and programming especially, you kind of want your programmers to be fully committed, because onboarding and involvement is kind of hard with programmers. But like just focusing on IT, that seems like that should be possible. Because a friend of mine is doing like I think 8 hours as a software engineer actually, though, in I can't remember what the company was. I mean, he's studying at TU, I think. Some software engineering, or like finances and software engineering, some a combination of that. And working as an engineer in a company that I think it was connected to data analysis or something. On location, kill, trigger, enter. And then it's don't require receiver. Alright. Then we do a respawn. Okay, that's barked. JetBrains acting up again. There's a lot of data analysis job, research-based jobs. Okay. I do have a few, not a few, I have one contact who is a researcher, but also a game developer on the side. So I might, I just ask around, like maybe something comes up, or someone knows of an open position in that field, and then I can just forward it to you. But yeah, I don't know a lot of people like in these specific fields, but it's still Austria, you know. If you want a job, you need to know someone who knows someone. That's like the that's kind of the way to go in Austria. Oops. No. Why is... Hey, why is the script not working? Okay, let's just do it your way. Exactly. It's all about the connections. It's a bit sad sometimes, but that's mostly how it goes. Now what do you want? Oh, I need to have a public void with this signature. Unexpected token. No, yeah. Because this is broadcasting the message on the player, this is picking up on it, and then here handle respawn. And now what I'm hoping is that we can just use the game object set system. So my idea is to have a bunch of game objects, like just transforms in there, which indicate respawn positions. Have them register themselves to a scriptable object, game object set, and then just read it here and just get the closest one. That's kind of the idea. Respawn locations is respawn set that. Or can I just iterate it? Okay, I can iterate the list though. Game object nearest respawn, then float current nearest. Yeah, that's good enough. Is the maximum. And what we also need is a read-only field of the character controller. And we'll get this on validate, because it's already there in the editor. So we can just do this here. Then distance to respawn is respawn dot position minus player character dot position. Before I forget it, actually this can be a different thing with the camera. If distance is to respawn dot magnitude, and then if distance smaller than current nearest, we update and nearest respawn is this one. Find nearest respawn. Move player to respawn. Play animation. Plus VFX. Maybe, we'll see about that. Okay, then let's do the moving part. How do we normally do this? Okay. I feel like we should put this in some kind of utility function. I guess let's do it as an extension, maybe. Void move character, have this character controller character, then vector free target position. And maybe also quaternion target rotation. All right. Then let's try this. Move character. Respawn. No, nearest respawn dot position. Transform dot position. Nearest respawn dot rotation. And if nearest respawn is null, well, probably need to throw an error there. But to do this shouldn't happen. Fallback, maybe. Oh. Okay. What do we need next? Scribbles. Where do we have the sets? Also in variables. I guess I'll just put it here. Runtime set game object set. Set go respawn. Then we need an empty. Put it here somewhere. Put it on the floor. It's kind of hard to see if it's like where we're at, right? Put it here. And call it respawn. Give it a game object set register. And add it to the respawn set. Then we need a player. Oh wait, we have a player here. Now where is our player? Not so high up, and then somewhere over here. Then the player needs the respawn and the set. Then we need to remove a few of those boundaries. Let's just do those two. And I think we should be good. I guess let's see what happens. Sure, we forgot something. Okay, now we're here. Good enough. Then we jump off. What? Haha, that actually worked. Ah, there's this bug, okay. Ability controller. You also need to do this when locking move input. If ability equals move, I think just a small fix. All right. I need to reset the reversion trail at that point. That's for later. So this we can apply to the map location. So we have this in the relocation. And then the respawn should be a prefab. Simple as that. All right. Now we need to also apply the overrides on the player. And I think we're good. Okay. Feature, player, respawn. And we can push it. Nice. Let's just quickly see if we can get kinda want this here as the respawn animation. Last thing we're doing in the stream. Just trying this out. This one has an exit time. So coming up and down to this, yeah, should be fine. in here we need to have a trigger, and it's called respawn. Surprise. Respawn. And it should be immediately, I think. Let's see. Let's see. And then last thing here, we need to have an animator. Yeah, animator. Set trigger. Let's do a private read only int respawn animator parameter animator string to hash respawn. Let's respawn animation parameter. Okay. If we're lucky, this just works. We have a nice little respawn animation as well. Oh, time for a beer read. Right, let's see. Ooh, actually works. Kinda. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Kind of want to see if it comes from the jumps up, does the rotation. Okay, I guess that's fine. Nice, nice. Seems good so far. Is the health decrease also implemented? No, the health decrease isn't implemented yet. That shouldn't be too hard though. I kinda just have to get the damage receiver and deal some damage, I think, or I can directly go to the... I think I can probably go past the damage receiver and apply it directly to the health. I think that might be easier. But so far so good. First of all, we didn't change anything on the player directly, did we? Change the animator and this one. And we can remove the animation to do. So yeah, a few things that we still need to add for this to work properly. But until then, so let's do the commit. Feature, player, add respawn animation. Commit and push. Then to finish this, let's do a quick recording. To show it off in the team progress share. That's very important. Otherwise nobody believes me that I'm actually working on the streams. Also, that's a good habit to get used to, especially if you're working with teams of any size, is every time you do something or you finish a feature, just record it, short clip, put it on the Discord. For multiple reasons. First of all, your team, it's for communication. Your team always knows what you're working on, what is finished, what's currently in progress. They immediately see the current status. Second of all, it's a motivational push. I always like it if I get a lot of sparkly emojis. And third of all, it's also just free marketing content. So you can just take all of those little clips that you do anyways for showing your team and just put them on your Twitter, or X in this case, or Insta, or wherever you are. And the software I'm using for this is Screen to Give, which is, I think, most straightforward, easy, uncomplicated thing to create short clips. Screen grabs. I can recommend, because then you can do a bunch of settings, but basically you can just save it as a MP4 or convert it to GIF or anything. You can also do some editing into it if you want to, but most of all I'm just exporting stuff. And then put it on the dev server. And we're done. And that's also all the time we have for today's stream. Thank you so much for joining today's cozy Panta Rhei co-working stream. Excuse the mess in the background. I've just got back to the university office and some other students took it over as a storage room in the meantime. But that's fine. That's fine. We will probably have another gameplay, playtesting, analysis stream on Thursday. I don't know which game yet. maybe we'll continue for our Cocoon journey. Maybe we'll try something else. You'll see by then. If you haven't already, drop us a follow. Also join our Discord server for at least planned weekly updates on the game progress and some other development insights. Until then, see you next week. See you on Thursday. See you at the Gamedev meetup. Keep on creating. Bye bye.